Hello everyone! So today we're going to be talking about the solar eclipse in Leo. I cannot believe it's here. I'm so excited. I think that this is such a big turning point in all of our lives, and it's the first solar eclipse in Leo in a very long time. So I think this is going to change the energy for a lot of people. So let's talk about it. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the aspects being made to the solar eclipse because there's a lot of just other planets and other energy. I'll briefly go over how to find where the solar eclipse is happening for you based on what house it's in. I'll go into things to try, things to avoid doing during the time, and how it's going to affect you based on what house it's in for you. And it's important to note that solar eclipses and lunar eclipses are roughly, the energy's there for roughly like 2 weeks, like before and after. So don't feel like you have to rush to like get these things done. It's okay, you can still do it after the day if you're busy or something, like that's totally fine. Just these are just things to try during this time. It's a good time. Okay, so briefly to start, I did make a full video on what eclipses are, but if you don't know, eclipses are whenever there is a full moon or new moon near the nodes. And if you don't know what the nodes are basically where in comparison to the Earth, the sort of orbits of the sun and the moon, in comparison to the Earth, they are opposite of each other. And so the point where they meet is the nodes. And so whenever there's a normal new moon or a normal full moon, so let's take a new moon, for example. A normal new moon would be where the sun and the moon are lined up from our perspective. They're just exactly lined up with each other, but when it's near the nodes, that makes it a solar eclipse, where they're perfectly lined up with each other, but also on the same like point where the orbits meet. And same goes for full moon. Full moon's just the opposite, where the sun and the moon are opposite of each other in comparison to the Earth. And then that same thing happens during a lunar eclipse, where they are opposite but on those points or near the points. I should note that because the orbits are moving, they're always spinning like this. So like that point is spinning. So that's why the eclipses aren't always in the same sign, because they're still moving. They're just very slowly moving, if that makes sense. So whenever you're looking at the nodes in particular, they're sort of those points, but they do have meanings in astrology. So the north node is where you're meant to go. It's like where you're meant to grow into, your destiny. And the south node is where you're meant to grow from, what you're meant to learn from and move away from. But now that you understand kind of the difference between eclipses and normal lunations, just in the actual sense of it, I want to talk about what the sort of astrology point of view of it would be. So in astrology, new moons are often associated with new beginnings and starting new things, like planting new seeds and things that you want to grow, like maybe applying for a certain job. And full moons are where you reflect and you release what isn't working. So it's a time to like look back and see, okay, like what seeds do I need to harvest now? Like what plants aren't working for me? What should I invest my time more into? Like what can I release so I can focus on what is working for me more? Now, when these are near the nodes, it is like a karmic turning point. It is like huge because it's that starting new things or releasing things that aren't working, but involving your destiny and where you're meant to go. Main difference basically with a new moon and a solar eclipse in terms of like the planting of seeds sort of example that I gave is that whenever you look at planting seeds for a new moon, you might plant you'll see a pot and you're like, okay, let's maybe add this type of seed. Maybe I want to plant this thing, try this new thing. An eclipse is like planting a garden. So like you plant a bunch of seeds, you make a wonderful, beautiful garden, and then the lunar eclipse comes around, and instead of it being like where you harvest just the little plant, you go and you see, do I want to grow vegetables now? Do I want to grow fruits? Like where can I completely change my entire garden versus just the one little pot? So now that you kind of understand eclipses in an astrology point of view and also in just an astronomy point of view as well, let's look at what Leo is, since that's where this eclipse is going to be. So if you don't know, Leo is such a charming and radiant sign. It is like the first person that you see when you walk into the room and you're immediately inspired by. Like everyone just kind of looks at and admires them. They are confident, charming, very creative person in the room. And everyone has a Leo somewhere in their chart. So that is the type of energy that's going to be in that house in your chart. Like that area of your life is going to be defined by Leo. And so with this solar eclipse in Leo, we want to look at how can you start something new that's going to nurture that part of your life and help it flourish. Like what can you bring into that area of your life to help grow immensely and really change your life direction? And where can you be that version of you unapologetically? Be confident in it and try the new thing. Now let's look at the aspects that are being made to this solar eclipse. I have pulled up here a chart, so if I'm looking away, that's why. But first things first, we have Mars just entering Cancer. It is at 0 degrees in Cancer on the day of the solar eclipse. And Mars being in Cancer is such a big vibe shift because Mars is all about how you motivate yourself, how you push yourself. Sometimes it's like aggression, it's really like quick on your feet, it's like go, go, go energy. And it entering Cancer is sort of like softening that a bit. But I should note that while it's sort of softening it, it is coming into a square with Neptune and Saturn in Aries. So it's sort of like the energy of like, it still wants to go. But Saturn is making it like it's sort of slowing it down, which is something that we had earlier this year where they were conjoined together. But in Leo, actually, in particular, we also have Jupiter and Mercury there with the solar eclipse. And I think this is really interesting because Jupiter is going to be at 9 degrees and Mercury is going to be at 4 degrees. So they're pretty close together. And Jupiter is the planet of growth and luck and abundance. And it's important to note that sometimes Jupiter grows things not in the way you want, but just try to be positive about it because it's literally expands whatever it touches. And Mercury coming up to Jupiter, Mercury is the planet of growth and communication and how you learn. So it could be that you're going to end up reaching the point where you grow in that way. Now, during this time also, Venus is going to be at 5 degrees of Libra and Uranus is going to be at 5 degrees of Gemini. So they're making a trine to each other and they're also both sextiling Mercury, almost exactly. And I think that is sort of really supportive energy. And since it's sort of a loose sextile to the solar eclipse in general, it could be that with Uranus involved, something is coming out of nowhere. Sextiles are often like a helping hand, sort of. It's not as strong as a trine, but it's like, okay, here's the opportunity. Like, do you want to take it or leave it? Like, that kind of thing. So I think that Uranus being there, it could be that something comes out of nowhere for you, like an opportunity or something with your work or something with a friendship or a relationship, like something like that. And again, it's up to you if you want to take it or leave it. And then Venus being involved, Venus is the planet of just love and harmony. I feel like this is such great energy with such supporting aspects. They're like really working together here. And I know that I said that Mars is coming into a square with Neptune and Saturn, but that isn't involved with like the actual eclipse. That's sort of like a side thing that's happening. I do think that the solar eclipse is super supportive in like whatever you are trying to do in the Leo part of your chart. I think is really supported here because of the sudden change from Uranus is asking you to change and do the crazy thing. And Venus is like bringing you harmony in that aspect. And then Jupiter and Mercury being in the same sign. Only like somewhat negative aspect is that Pluto is going to be opposite Mercury and loosely Jupiter. And it's opposite to the solar eclipse just based on the sign it's in because it's at 3 degrees, so it's pretty loose. But that opposition has been against Jupiter for a little bit, and I think that since Pluto is a lot to do with change, like deep transformations, and Jupiter is how you grow, and I think it could be asking you like, where do you need to change to allow that room for growth in the Leo part of your house? I think that's great that Jupiter is in Leo. So it could be that like Pluto is like you're sort of resisting the change that Pluto wants to bring, and Jupiter's trying to help you grow. So just try and like really reflect on where might you be able to change in your life, and how much would you grow if you let it happen. And another thing is that the solar eclipse is almost within like 4 degrees, 5 degrees, trining Saturn. And I think that is wonderful because Saturn is like, it's like the very mature, sort of like take things slow, really seriously think about things, take your time, that kind of thing. So it coming here and being supportive is such a wonderful thing, because I feel like the sudden new thing that Uranus might bring into your life, and it being with these new moons, like it's such new energy already, and then Saturn's like, here, take this seriously, and then Jupiter's asking you to grow. It's like, this is a perfect time to start something new, even if it's scary, like just to try it. And Pluto's asking you, are you ready to take the change? Are you ready to let yourself grow, or are you not going to let it happen? It's totally up to you whether you let something happen, let something change you, and grow with it or not. And of course, these eclipses are going to affect you so differently based on what house it's in, what planets you have in your natal chart in comparison. These are just the outer planet, like the transiting planets. So if you have any questions about that, you can let me know in the comments and I can try my best to help you. But before I get into the houses and how to find where Leo is in your chart, I want to talk about a few things that are generally good to avoid during this time. And obviously it will be a little bit different based on where it's at in your chart, but just in general, there are some things that you can avoid when Leo is involved. So something to avoid is doing things super urgently with, like, I know I said things are going to come out of nowhere, or try the new thing, that's really crazy. And that is a great thing, but Saturn especially being involved is asking you not to be super impulsive about it. So you still have time. And like I said, the solar eclipse energy is around for like 6 months, but the peak of it is like the week before, the week after. So it's totally fine if you want to take a few days, really think about what you're doing or what you want to do before you jump right into it. And another thing is kind of like I said before, where Pluto is asking you, are you ready to make the change? Don't avoid things because you're worried about standing out or something like that. Leo is the energy of being yourself, and like just being creative, being charming, and be confident with it. Be unapologetically you. And that is where Pluto is asking you, do you want to make the change? How badly do you want to become this new version of yourself? Because it's not going to happen unless you change something. So Leo really wants to be seen. And so I think that it's really important that you let yourself be seen for who you truly are. Don't be seen as someone who is like who you think other people want to see, be you. Okay, now I'm going to go into the houses. But first things first, I'm going to explain how to get your birth chart and how to kind of read it in case you don't know, just so that you can follow along. Okay, so first things first, you want to look up your birth chart, and to do that, just Google birth chart calculator. I use Astromatrix. A lot of people use a site called AstroSeek. So whichever you like more is totally fine. And then you want to type in your birthday, your birth time, birth location, that sort of thing. And then you will see a circle with a bunch of crazy stuff on it. That's okay, I'm gonna explain it. So first you'll want to send the date, like the current date, to August 12th, because that's when the solar eclipse is happening, and you'll see the sun and the moon are right next to each other on the chart. And you'll want to look on the outside of the chart because that is the current chart. And the basic premise, if you don't know, is that the chart is a circle, and the circle is split into 12 different parts, and those parts are different areas of your life. Like one's for your relationships, one's for your career, that kind of thing. And so as planets move into different pie slices, they bring different things into those parts of your life. So you'll want to find the sun and the moon on the outer part of the circle. They'll be in Leo on August 12th. And so you'll want to look at which pie slice are they in, and that is what area of your life it's going to be affecting. So now I'll go into what each of those areas of your life, which are called houses in astrology, things that you can try new based on which house it's in for you, and that kind of thing. So let's get into it. So if you have Leo in your first house, the first house is all about your identity. It's how other people see you. It's like the version of yourself that other people see. It's also like your appearance, your confidence, that kind of thing. And having Leo here is such a wonderful thing. I love people who are Leo in the first house, which if you don't know, that's your rising sign. So whatever sign starts your first house is your rising sign. So this makes you a Leo rising, and that is such a wonderful thing. So in a small scale, you can try something like I was saying, solar eclipses or restart new things. This is the time where you try a new outfit. Like, really wear something that you love, or do a hairstyle that's totally like just for you, or like dye your hair like something that you love. Like, you've always wanted to dye your hair red and you're so scared. But do it, be you, and if it looks bad, you can change it. That's fine. But if you like it, then you keep it. So if this is in your first house, some things that you can try, I think, also are just letting yourself take up space. Really allow your Leo energy to flourish. Be you, talk about yourself, like find someone to talk about yourself with. Just text your friend and say like, "Oh my gosh, like I did this today. I'm so proud of myself." Or like just be you. And then also like you want to ask yourself like, who are you becoming? Who do you want to become? Are there any limiting beliefs that you have about yourself that like you can go around and start being more confident in your decisions and in your appearance and what you like? Because if you like it, that's what's important. Now, the second house, it's all about your money, your finances. It's what you value. So it's like your self-worth as well. So all of those things might be really highlighted during the eclipse. But some things that you can try in particular are like really practicing like a skill or something that increases your confidence. Like if there's something that you really enjoy doing, and this goes for like third house as well. But if there's something you really enjoy doing, try and nourish it and be confident with it and try to embrace it. Like you want to price your work fairly. You want to like what you work for is be confident in the fact that you're worthy of more just because you're trying. Like, oftentimes people associate their self-worth with how much money they can make or something, and that's not something that you want to do at all, because you are worthy just because you exist. That's in the story. That goes for everyone. But really acknowledge and be confident in the fact that you work hard in what you can provide, and that maybe you deserve more out of it. Like maybe you make art and you are underselling yourself, or maybe at your job you are not feeling like you are acknowledged enough. This is the time to take up that space and really embrace the, like I said before, the Leo energy. And you also want to look at things that aren't measured by money or your work in general also. So you want to look at like, what do you value about yourself that isn't driven and controlled by money? Like what do you like about yourself, and where can you really flourish that self-worth and appreciate yourself? So like truly practice appreciating your own strengths. You can also do things involving money during this time, since the second house is about money. You can apply for a new job. You can start a new savings goal. Like do the thing that like totally surprises you. And there's something that my therapist tells me a lot, because I used to be really worried about applying to jobs or something. I'd be like, well, what about when I get the job that I have to do this or I have to do whatever? And she would tell me like, you don't have to worry about that yet. Like just apply first. Applying takes 2 minutes, and then if you hear back and if you get an interview and then they accept you from there, then you can decide. And that is really important, I think, because a lot of people delay things or postpone things because they don't know. Like they're like, oh my gosh, they're trying to plan too far ahead. So basically you can take the first step first and see how it goes. Now let's look at the third house. The third house is all about how you communicate, how you grow and learn. So this is a perfect time to try and take a new class. You want to really embrace learning and learning new things and stuff. Like I was very lucky to be able to go to Spain It was my first time ever abroad. I went for a family wedding, and during that, I was thinking how I felt like I was in such a wonderful place because I was in a constant state of learning. Like every coffee shop that I went to, I was speaking Spanish, and like I just like I'm pretty good at Spanish, but I'm not like perfect at it. So I just loved the idea that I could go and practice everywhere. Like I was always learning. And so that's something that you can try to love and try to embrace, is that being able to learn and try to like take advantage of that and take a class. Like sometimes I see on like Coursera, they have classes where it's like you can do a 7-day free trial. And so I'm pretty sure you can do a 7-day free trial for any course. So you could try a bunch of different courses, see where your brain thrives and like where you love to learn. Like not because other people tell you to, but because you're genuinely enjoying it. And since it's also about communicating, it could be a good time to practice like setting boundaries or like have a conversation that you've been really avoiding. And again, with the Leo energy, you want to embrace it and be unapologetically you in that area of your life. So, in the way you learn, in the way you communicate, don't be afraid to say what you feel. Think about what perspective you're ready to grow into and where you're ready to learn more about, and really, really do the thing that you care about. I can't emphasize that enough. Do something that you like, something you're curious about. Don't do something because someone else tells you to, or because you think that they would be happy that you're doing it. Do it because you like to do it. Now, the fourth house is all about your home, your family life, your parents. It's kind of like where you come home to, like your roots. So having Leo here, and some things that you can try during the solar eclipse that are new is redecorate your space. If you have Leo here, you really may love having like a super certain aesthetic in your house or in your room or something along those lines. And you want to embrace that. Whatever you like, embrace that energy because that's so Leo. And just being confident in what you love and being creative about it. So make your home reflect that Leo energy. You can also spend time with family during this time. That goes for any lunation that is in the fourth house, because the fourth house is all about your family and you want to spend time with those who you love. And again, with Leo, that's like very charming energy. So take advantage of that and let that flourish. And a lot of times when you nurture your home life, it's going to come out into your outer world and people will see that and recognize that. Basically, whenever you come home and your space nurtures what you love and what you like, you feel so comfortable and like joyful and like just like confident in your home space, you're gonna leave your house ready to freaking take on the world. And if you don't, then try to make it where you do feel that way. So you want to ask yourself, what makes you feel truly at home, and how can you adjust and start new things to do so? Now, the fifth house, this is your solar eclipse, because the fifth house and Leo go hand in hand. The fifth house is all about creativity, romance. It's like things that you create and joy. So sometimes like children literally are here. So things to do with children, but a lot of times it can be like going on a fun date or something. So the fifth house naturally wants you to try those things, like things involving your creativity and stuff. With a solar eclipse here in particular, you may want to try and take a dance class or do something creative like painting, or like really like doing something that's going to broaden your mind in a way that's in a creative sense. You can also share your art. So if you paint or if you dance or if you sing, anything like creative, you can try and share it online, or you can try and take a class to further that knowledge. Or if there's something you've been curious about that is something that you think, oh, maybe it would be kind of fun to try that, this is a time to really embrace the joy and creativity that could bring you, because Leo being here, that's how you naturally will flourish, is if you embrace those things. So you do not want to hide that. You absolutely want to nurture that version of yourself and let your creativity flourish. Like, truly don't apologize for it. Let yourself be seen in that way. You want to ask yourself what lights you up, what makes you feel alive, and really take whatever answer you get and think, how can I plant new seeds and help that version of myself grow? And how can I incorporate that into my daily life more? Now, talking about daily life, let's get into the sixth house. The sixth house is all about your day-to-day routines, your work, your health, your fitness, that kind of thing. And so having Leo here is where you want to incorporate that Leo energy into your day-to-day routines. Like, you could start going to the gym if you don't already. You can try and take like a workout class. Some gyms, my gym here has like free workout classes. So this would be the time for you to just try one of them. If you're nervous to try one of the classes, I was really scared one time and I saw a bunch of people like lining up outside of the class and I was like, you know what? I should just try it. I was like, I really should try it. And so then I was really scared, but I grabbed one of the mats like everyone else did, and I just copied them and went into the room. I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. And it ended up being amazing and I really liked it. And you know, like it's it's so weird because you see like people that go to yoga all the time, like, or do something that maybe you're like, oh, like I couldn't do that, but the only thing stopping you is being curious and taking that one step. Literally me being nervous but doing it anyways is what made that a part of my day-to-day routine. So absolutely try and incorporate something that is fun, and it's supposed to be fun. So like things, of course, that's just one example, but you can incorporate lots of things. And with Leo is like such a creative and charming, like confident energy. So bringing that into your day-to-day routines, whether that's like waking up to music, start playing music when you wake up if you love music, or every time that you brush your teeth or you want to start flossing, play music or dance when you floss, like, or something like that. So basically during this time you just want to start a healthy habit. You want to organize like your space in a way that's going to comfort your day-to-day routines. Like if you think like, oh, I hate driving to work every morning, like because you have a long drive or something, maybe start to prepare like a little yummy snack on the way to work. Like you can prepare it the night before or something. Or for like a few days, stop by your favorite coffee shop and maybe make like a routine out of it where you wake up like a few minutes earlier, but you get like a super yummy snack beforehand. Or you do on your way home as like a reward. You're like, okay, you did the day. Just something that's going to nurture your day to day, that's going to make your life a little easier. And you want to look at who you are trying to become and how you can start to slowly build up to that. And again, with Leo, you don't want to apologize for it. Just be you and be the version of yourself that you want to be. Now, the seventh house is all about your relationships. It is your one-on-one partnerships. And this is a very important solar eclipse because this can be starting new things in terms of those things. It can be a really good time to set healthy boundaries. Like if you've been being walked all over or something, first of all, you do not want to be like that if you have Leo, especially in your seventh house. You want to be the type of person who, like, people, and you inspire people. So really let that shine in your relationships as well, and set healthy boundaries, and like don't be afraid to. And if someone doesn't like a boundary that you're setting, they are not for you at all. And with Leo, you don't want to apologize for it. So just be able to prioritize what is comfortable for you and let that show in your relationships. You can also practice, like, I kind of said this in the first house one, but practice like talking about yourself to other people. Like, don't be afraid to mention yourself or be proud of things that you do. Leo is very proud, so you want to be confident, and it's not a bad thing to be proud of yourself. You can also meet new people during this time, so if that's something you've been wanting to do, just take one night and go to a bar. Of course, if you're of age to drink. If you don't like to drink, then you can go to like a book club or just go to the gym and just say to a random person, like, I like your shirt, or like, I like your hair, or whatever, like something like that. And a lot of times people are just happy to hear things like that. So just being nice will take you a long way. So you really want to look at what kind of relationships are helping you flourish and become your best self, and how can you ensure that the relationships you have are doing that and aren't bringing you down. Your Leo self wants to shine and you want to let it happen. So 8th house is all about the deep intimacy in your life, and it's sometimes with like shared resources. It's like metaphorical death and rebirth. It's like your debts, your student loans, that kind of thing, like other people's money. So something you can do if you have the ability to is literally pay off your debt. You can also start therapy. This goes for every 8th house lunation ever. Therapy is a wonderful thing, and being able to grow and in a really deep way, like look at like the shadow work that you need to do, and being able to allow yourself to make room to grow, like to change in order to grow, is such a wonderful thing. And it's scary at first, but it's so worth it, because the version of you that you want to become can't exist without changing. The 8th house has a lot to do with like psychology as well. So it could be a time where you start like manifesting, like really looking at your thought patterns. This is a great time to like just try it. I have the mindset of like, if you don't believe in something or you aren't so sure about something, there more than often than not, there's not a downside to trying it. Like, let's say you didn't want to manifest or you didn't think it worked or something. That is the perfect time. This exactly right now, literally right now, because of this eclipse, is the perfect time to start doing that. To let yourself be curious and try it and just see if it works. You don't know if it's going to work until you try it. So just try it. And regardless, the outcome is still that you are teaching yourself to have a more positive mindset on whatever you're trying to manifest. But at the end of the day, the 8th house has a lot to do with change and like deep transformations, like I was saying. So you really want to look at what you've maybe been afraid to change, that's holding you back from reaching the new version of yourself that you want to become. And Leo here is at like already in yourself. You want to embrace that and really look at where can you change to let yourself grow and flourish. Because if there's something new that you want to try, you can't try it without deciding you're going to try it and doing it. Literally just do it, you know? But okay, on to the 9th house. The 9th house is all about your long distance travel. It's about expanding your mind. It's like other cultures, things like that. It can also be involved with spirituality and religion and stuff. So you may want to look at where you can literally travel to. Like maybe take a trip. Like even if it's just like a weekend trip, like drive for the day, literally just for the day, to another city and walk around, see how people do things differently there. Though that is more of a 3rd house thing, since 3rd house is shorter distance travel, you want to look at long distance, like fully other cultures. So this is a good time to actually plan a trip. But either way, seeing other cultures and stuff is going to broaden your mind in general. Like something that I did, I don't have Leo in my 9th house, but something that I did for one of the new moons, that was in my 9th house, was I wanted to learn more about different cultures like this. And I wasn't sure how to do that because I'm freaking broke, so I can't go somewhere. So I looked up and I went to this Indian supermarket, and it was so cool because I went inside and I asked a bunch of the employees. I was like, "Oh, how do you make this? Like, do you guys cook this thing and certain things? Like, how do you like it?" Because I wanted to be able to experience it too and learn more about it. And like, that's just stuff that you don't learn here unless you go out of your way to learn. And this is the perfect time. So this is a good time to just look at other cultures, look at things that maybe you wouldn't normally look at, and think about like other languages. This is a great time to learn another language, and like just really think about what will expand you. Ask yourself what's going to expand you and where you can go. You can also just start planning the trip. Like, you don't actually have to go on it. You can say, okay, 2028, I'm going to China. China seems like a wonderful place. I would love to go there. So you can literally just go on Airbnb just for fun, look at dates for whatever, and start planning a trip and like think about what clothes you want, make a Pinterest board, like literally look at what people like in China actually do. Like what can you be like, what are the cultures like, that kind of thing. Let yourself be curious and let your mind grow. And again, you don't have to go all or nothing with this kind of thing. You can also go to the bookstore and find like a book on other cultures and just read it right there. Just skim through it, that kind of thing. Now, the 10th house is all about your career, your public image. It's how people see you. So if you have Leo here, oh my gosh, that is so nice, I think, because you may love being seen by other people in your public image. And this is the time where you really look at being confident with that and really embracing that Leo energy that you have. Because it may be scary to feel like, oh my gosh, like being seen is a scary thing. But this is the time to try and embrace that. Like, what steps can you take to start to feel confident in that way, and do it in a way that you feel confident about, not how, oh my gosh, everyone out there is doing this certain thing, I need to do that too. Don't do it that way. Do what you feel confident in. And again, this doesn't have to be seen like in like a famous way. This can be seen in like perspective of your work. Like if you have an office job, like how can you be more confident in your work? Like, do you want a raise? Do you want to apply for a different position? Have you always thought like, oh, I want to do some totally different job than I'm doing right now? Start applying, or apply to like a new course that may help you grow in that way. Think about what you want to do because you want to do it. And again, Leo wants you to be unapologetically you. And so if that means that you are from a long lineage of surgeons and you don't want to be a surgeon, don't be a surgeon. Do what makes you happy. And at the end of the day, it's your life. Try and embrace that and let yourself flourish and appreciate what you like because it's you, and let yourself do work out of it. If you love something, there's oftentimes you're going to be really good at it because you're willing to work harder for it, because you care about it. So try and embrace what you love, and apply for a new job. Like, do the thing that you're kind of nervous about. Now, the 11th house. The 11th house is all about your communities and your relationships, like with not like one-on-one like the 7th house. It's like the people you surround yourself with. So if you're in school, it can be like your classmates, or if you are going to the gym a lot, it can be like the people at the gym, like the employees that you say hi to every day. So Leo here wants you to like flourish in that. You want to surround yourself by people who inspire you, and give you that Leo energy, like help you flourish in the Leo way. So you don't want to be around people who bring you down. If there's something that you're passionate about, like let's say it's you really like books or you like hiking, this is the time to join a group like that where it's like everyone else likes it too. So you're going to be encouraged and you're going to feel inspired to really be confident in what you love. You want to look at who is going to help you grow, and this is a good time, even if it's as simple as like joining a Discord group, or like saying hi to people that you want to surround yourself with more, or like something like that is going to help you grow so much. And being around people who care about the same things that you care about is so nice, because in turn that helps you be more confident in what you care about, and that is the Leo energy. Be confident and be charming, and don't apologize for being yourself. Finally, the 12th house is all about deep healing. It is like your subconscious, unconscious mind. It is like your thought patterns, your dreams, that kind of thing. It's like really below the surface. So you might want to look at like what part of yourself is wanting to be acknowledged. Like maybe there's a part of you that you want to share with other people, or it's like your private life, but maybe it's a time where you kind of put that part of yourself out there, or you acknowledge just yourself. Like you don't have to tell someone about it, but just yourself is all you need. So like you can meditate, really think about something that maybe you've kept to yourself and you try not to think about. This is a good time to really think about it and sit by yourself and be comfortable with it. Practice meditating is a great one. That goes for every lunation with the 12th house. Meditating is a wonderful thing, and it is way easier than people think. I saw this video a long time ago that said basically what you do is when you sit to meditate, you focus on your breaths, like you breathe in and then breathe out. And then as your mind starts to wander, the whole point of meditating is letting it wander and then bringing it back and being like, okay, lungs or throat, whatever you is helping you like ground yourself. And the whole game of meditating is letting your mind wander and trying to bring it back and forth. So you can practice that and just see how it may help you feel more calm and more confident in your own mental. And you can also like keep a dream journal too. Like, what are you dreaming about? Where can maybe your subconscious mind be trying to like signal things at you? This is a really good time to really embrace being alone. Like, I love Leo here because you want to be like confident in being by yourself. Leo is often associated with like just being like the loudest person in the room, like the center of attention. And while it can be that, it's not always that. It's like, I feel like a lot of times it wants you to just be you. Like, don't hide parts of yourself. It's just like silently believing in yourself. It doesn't mean like go and tell the world like everything that you do or whatever. It just means like truly having that confidence within yourself, and no one else needs to know about it if you don't want to. Just being confident in yourself and believing in yourself. Okay, but all in all, for all of the houses, it is so important to try something new. Seriously, this is the time where if you try something new, it is going to change your life, truly. Because the nodes are involved, it is going to change the trajectory of your life. And whether you think that the solar eclipses and lunar eclipses are as strong as they are, think about the fact that if you did start the new thing, it would change your life regardless. Like, it doesn't matter if the eclipse is there. Try the new thing. The eclipse is a supporting hand in all the aspects being made. I feel like things are going to be thrown at you where you're forced to try something new and you are forced to change, but it is up to you whether you work with it or not. So if you have watched this video all the way through, I would love to know where Leo is in your chart and maybe how the eclipse affects you when it comes, or how the having Leo and what planets are in your Leo whole sign house or anything like that. Like, I would love to hear about your experience with Leo as a whole. And again, I make these designs on Redbubble, so you're more than welcome to go and support me there if you like them. And I have a bunch of them, so but yeah, and then I will be posting videos for the lunar eclipse that is in Pisces coming up, which I'm so excited about. And I'm going to be posting on TikTok and YouTube Shorts as well. So just keep an eye out for those things, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.